Manchester United midfield shortlist has been revealed. Now, in this video, we'll talk about the three options and who they are. You could probably see by the title. We'll have a conversation about them, and in the end, summarise which one would be best for Manchester United. So, the three players that have been linked are Adam Wharton, Elliot Anderson, and Sandro Tonali as the midfield shortlist. So, that is what's being reported by the Daily Mail, who do have very good sources. Bruno Guimaraes source other reports are suggesting that no deal is close to being done there, and he's not someone who United have identified as a key target. So let's get into it. So first of all, I want to say I'll be happy with all of them. I think the top level players. I'll talk about which one's best suited for United, the likelihood of them signing. So the first one is Elliot Anderson. Now he's 23 years of age. He's been fantastic for Forest this season. He's a very, very good player. For me, is he the most compatible fit for Manchester United? No. But he's definitely someone who I think is high on the radar for Manchester United, as was being reported. He's obviously heavily linked to Man City as well, which could make it a deal difficult to do. But I do certainly think he has been one of the best players in the Premier League this season. You look at how integral he is for Forest. He's a all-action midfielder. And he's someone who, for me, would massively improve that midfield. Now, in terms of Casemiro replacement, he definitely is someone that's up there. He's going to have a lot of links with Manchester City as well. But again, if United get Champions League football, he's at the right age, 23. He's got enough Premier League experience under his belt, but I think he'll be able to develop under a top level manager, or if that is Michael Carrick. I think he's someone who is very good on the ball. He always wants the ball. He's always willing to pass forward. He's very good from set pieces. Can make a line breaking pass. Like, he's got all of it. And I think in terms of what we need, as I said, he's probably not the best suited. But in terms of him maybe adapting his game, he's still at a young age. I think he's someone who'd massively suit Manchester United. So he's someone definitely to look out for. He is the highest target for Manchester United. He's the one that they want the most. But again, he's going to face a lot of competition from Manchester City. But in terms of attributes, he's fantastic. He's 23, he's got a few years left on his deal. But I think everyone can pretty much guarantee that he is going to leave Forest, even if they do stay up and even if they get relegated. He's someone who I think, no disrespect to Forest, he's much better than them. And he would, I find it kind of similar to the Declan Rice deal. He's someone who was doing well at a lower level Premier League team, and he will make a move. I don't think he will go to Arsenal. I think right now it looks most likely to be Manchester City. But if Manchester United get Champions League, put a right offer on the table, see the project and see where we finish the season, I'm hopeful that Anderson joins Manchester United. Now, the second player is Sandro Tonali. Now, he is 25 years of age. Out of the two Newcastle midfielders, United are more likely to get Tonali. He's someone, for me, who has been very, very important to Newcastle. And again, when he's not in the team, you massively see his absence, and Newcastle do massively miss him. I think he's someone out of the three, out of Wharton, Anderson and Tonali himself, he is the most suited for United. He's actually someone who mainly operates as a 6 in a midfield 3. I think energy, experience, he's got all of it. He's 25, he's still got a lot of room to develop. He's at a good kind of pace in his career. Now, the one question would be, would he actually leave Newcastle to join United? I don't think there's anything kind of hiding the fact that he has been open to leaving Newcastle, with the reports of Arsenal circulating towards the end of the January transfer window. There's been talks about going back to AC Milan. There's been talks about Juve, talks about Manchester United. So he's someone for me who I think definitely will leave Newcastle by what's being reported in the media. But will he join United? I don't know. I think he's someone who does have, again, a lot of good qualities. His main one being his energy and his ball carrying ability. I think he would complement Kobbie Mainoo really, really well. Ultimately, you have to think of this midfielder as someone who's going to obviously be their own midfielder in themselves in the number 6, but form a very good partnership with Kobbie Mainoo. And what we've seen is the balance between Casemiro and Mainoo, which has probably ultimately led them to gelling so well. I think Tonali would work with Kobbie Mainoo. I think they're not the most similar profiles. They have very different abilities, and I think they would combine very, very well. Now, in terms of price, again, he's probably going to cost you 70, 80 million, but he's one of those players that I'd say is worth it. He's an A-tier midfielder. He has been Newcastle's, I would say, out of their three, he's probably the glue that holds the midfield three together. The CDM is something that's massively important. And I think he's someone who, again, compatibility will suit United. He has the quality, and again, Premier League experience is vital. Now, the last one is Adam Wharton. Now, he is still relatively young, 22. Obviously, at Palace, he's again expected to leave. United have identified him as a target. I mean, there was a period where United were linked. It was Wharton, Baleba, Anderson. Now, Baleba hasn't been mentioned on the list, but he has been mentioned as the second potential signing that United could sign in addition to one of those three that I'm mentioning here. Now Wharton, as I said, he's 22. He plays in the midfield too. Obviously Glasner plays a 3-4-3, the forbidden 3-4-3 system. I think he's someone who again has a lot of talent. He's still got errors and mistakes in him because of him being so young. But I think if you look at his rise from Blackburn, I think it was Blackburn to Palace and where he's at now, he's definitely someone who I think is ready to make that next step up. He's established himself in the Premier League. He's got a lot of quality. He's got a lot of talent. The only concern would be for me is he too similar to Kobbie Mainoo, and is he sort of that profile that we need? I think we need someone, we just need a Casemiro replacement, someone who's good in the air, someone who would do all the dirty work, kind of clean up, defend, sweep, set pieces. And again, that's something that United definitely have to take into account. Is Wharton the best from set pieces? I don't think so, and I think it's going to be something very difficult to replace. I'm not saying it's a must. I'm not saying like because he's not good from set pieces, defending them, and he's not the kind of greatest in the air, that doesn't mean sell him, don't sign him. But I think that definitely is something that United need to take into account. As I said, he's more box to box. But yeah, they are the three options. Now, in terms of what my choice would be if I had to bring in one of them, as I said, we can't complain as United fans. If Casemiro and Ugarte goes and we bring in any one of those three, I'll be happy. But mine would be, if I had to rank in order, I think Tonali. I think he's the most, he's the most compatible for United, I think, in terms of number 6, his qualities that he has. For me personally, I think I do see him working very well with Kobbie Mainoo. Secondly would be Elliot Anderson. I think where, yes, he is more box to box, he can definitely develop into a 6, and so too can Adam Wharton, but they are just my preference. As I keep saying, I will continue to say, all the midfielders in the Premier League that United have been linked to, I'll be very happy with, whether that is Wharton, Anderson, Sandro Tonali. They're all decent options, and I think they would massively improve this midfield. We have to look at what United have, and all three players are better than Ugarte, and they will be viable replacements for Casemiro. But let me know your thoughts.